you're in luck. There is no lockout in the NFL yet. Yesterday, players and owners agreed to a 24-hour extension of the deadline. Now, the clock is ticking down again. John Maroon with Maroon PR is here this morning to break things down for us as we fight now in overtime. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what do you think? Is this a good sign? We move into midnight tonight is our deadline. What do you think is going to happen from here?
Well, it's a very good sign. I think the fact that they must be progress must be made. That they're now going to a federal mediator to get an extension on the extension. They're looking for a couple of weeks more. If there was no wiggle room, if they were going nowhere, this wouldn't be happening.
Now, when you said a little bit more wiggle room, you and I were talking before, why couldn't we just say we needed 10 days right now? Why do they have to say 1 day today and then they need 10 more days after today?
There was a set deadline, and now there's a process that you have to go through when it comes to collective bargaining. So the next step is, today they will not meet. They'll each go before this mediator and make their case for an extension, which everyone seems to think, why not? And then once it's there, that's a good sign because, again, they must be agreeing on a few points.
What do you think the main points are? What do you think is going to bring these two sides together?
Well, really, the big issue is it's a $9 billion business is the number you get thrown out. Fans aren't very sympathetic when people can't divide up $9 billion. They want their Sunday football.
Exactly.
But the real issues are owners are looking for an extended season. That's hard. It's hard on the players' bodies as it is already. You see them breaking down, so that's a big sticking point. It's also a rookie wage scale, which I think a lot of actual players are in favor of. There's a lot of guys that come in unproven, getting top dollar, and then really how to divide up that big pie. So those are really the issues that are being debated right now.
But you feel confident there will be an agreement and there will be fall football?
Well, look, I'm hopeful like every other fan out there.
I want you to tell me yes.
Yes. No, I think that this is all very positive signs. They're not walking away. The comments made by DeMaurice Smith and the commissioner yesterday were upbeat, and that's a good sign. When you usually see a tough labor dispute, there's much more fighting words.
Let's say they don't reach an agreement and there would be a lockout. What happens then? Does that necessarily mean no football at all, or could it be a shortened season? What are the options?
It could be a shortened season. See, right now the players aren't quote-unquote feeling the pain because they don't get paychecks this time of year. They get paychecks once they start the season. So really, you can see if they don't come to an agreement, this can drift into training camp, then it can drift into the regular season, and then the pressure really gets on. But hopefully for all of us, this gets resolved. Football's a 12-month season now. You got the draft. You got mini camps, you got all this sorts of stuff, and then training camp starts, so people are into it year-round. Well,
of course, I hope it gets resolved, but I told you my fiance is a Redskins fan, and every time the NFL goes into a strike, the Redskins actually win. So there's a lot of Skins fans out there crossing their fingers for the strike lockout.
Tough days in Redskin land, so maybe this would help them.
Well, for the Ravens fans here, they're hoping we go for the fall football. Thank you, as always, Sean, for coming in this morning.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. Well, still.